Hey guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an article titled, If a Guy's Ridiculously Attractive, I Refuse to Date Him. And guys, this whole article is just going to show you or reinforce some views that you already have, just how absolutely insecure some women can be about themselves and their bodies and their looks and all that. Also is going to reinforce or show you just how psychotic some women can be about things like that and just their whole view on things, their whole take on things. Right now, it's crazy. And this article is obviously written by a woman, and she goes into all these crazy reasons why if she happened to attract or be dating a guy that was considered to be ridiculously attractive, probably a guy that'd be considered to be a 9 or a 10 in the looks and body type department, that she refused to date him because just no way, it's not going to work, and she goes into all these reasons. And when I came across this article and I just saw the headline before I even begun to read her bullshit here, the things that went through my mind immediately is that, number one, she's insecure. Guaranteed she's insecure about her looks, her body, who she is, all that. Guaranteed. Number two, she likes to be in control. Guarantee she's a control freak and doesn't like when things are out of her grasp, out of her power. And number three, she obviously likes to be the center of attention. She wants to have the attention on her. These three main things is immediately went across my mind. And to no surprise, as I go through the article, you're going to see some of those things are going to come up here. And so I'm going to point that out along the way here. And guys, this article, for those of you guys that do dating and relationships and all that, this will be good for you just to understand just how insecure a lot of women can be, okay? And there's varying degrees of that. I mean, pretty much, I've never met a single woman that wasn't insecure about something, but some take it to a whole new level. And for the rest of you guys that don't do dating and you've taken a one-way trip, one-way vacation away from women, this will just give you a good laugh and reinforce why you don't deal with this bullshit anymore, period. So, she starts off, physical attraction is definitely important when it comes to picking someone to date, but some women won't settle for anything less than supermodel quality looks. Maybe I'm weird, but this is why I'd actually prefer not to date a super handsome guy. Number one, I couldn't deal with the non-stop attention he'd get. Right then and there. The attention's going on him, not on her. Whether or not he'd actually cheat on me, I'd have a hard time dealing with a guy who is constantly attracting other women. I try not to be a jealous person, but even I wouldn't be able to handle constantly feeling like my partner was eye candy for every woman he crossed paths with. You know, guys, most women, they want a guy that other women find attractive or find charming or see as a prize, because to them, that makes them have something above all them. Right? A guy, and a lot of women, if they find out that a guy isn't popular with other women, that other women don't find him to be a catch, they'll lose interest in him even if they already liked him beforehand. That's how shallow some women can be. Okay, I'm not saying all, but a lot. They want a guy that has high value that other women want. Okay, no joke. And so it's kind of crazy here that she would have a problem with so many women wanting this guy. But also goes to show about her insecurity about, that he'll cheat on her or her wanting the attention on her. Number two, I'd get turned off by his arrogance. Out of all the ridiculously attractive guys I've come across, there were only a few that didn't have egos ready to burst like balloons. Most times they appeared so self-absorbed that the initial attraction that I thought was there disappeared within seconds. Don't get me wrong, confidence is sexy, but so is humility, especially on the really good-looking guy. Well, I'm not going to deny that there aren't guys out there that are obviously really good-looking guys in great shape and all that, and they're arrogant as hell. Guaranteed, okay? I've known guys like that. I'm sure every guy watching this has known guys like that. But that doesn't mean that all guys, because they're good-looking or take care of themselves, and they'll be considered like top-tier guys, that they're all like that, okay? Seriously. You can get guys like that that are very confident in who they are, but there's a difference between confidence and arrogance, okay? There's a big difference, okay? And so I can't blame her for not being around a guy that was an arrogant asshole, but just going into this assuming that every guy that way, that's bullshit, okay? And that's, again, an excuse for her, because what is the core of all this, again, is insecurity, okay? Oh, he must be a jerk, therefore because he's good looking, he's a jerk, so I'm going to push him away. But in reality, it's the insecurity how she'd have to handle and deal with a guy that was obviously that good looking and attractive to other women. Next one, they jump over 3, so go right to 4. I'd feel like the ugly duckling next to him. Even though I have no problems with my appearance, trying to keep up with his good looks would be pointless. I don't need to outshine my boyfriend, but I need to feel like we're at least somewhat equal in terms of our appearances. I don't mean I'd rather date Quasimodo, but a guy in the same league as me would be enough to make me feel sane and balanced. So again, back to the insecurity thing, and also this comes also down to attention, because if in her mind, I'm guessing she probably, I didn't look to see what she looks like. I'm busy. I don't have time for that stuff. You guys can look it up. But I'm guessing she's definitely probably a 7 or under in the looks and body type department. That's just my guess just right off the bat here. I'm thinking that here. I could be wrong, but you guys can check it out and let me know. Because if she would feel that bad being next to him, that ought to say something about her, about insecurity, and of course wanting the attention on her. So, like I said in the beginning, insecurity, control, and attention. We've gotten all 3 so far. All right, next one. Number 5. Oh, wait for this. Number 5, I'd expect him to cheat at some point. Even if he weren't the cheating kind, I know I'd still be paranoid about it happening. When you're that hot and have that many girls fawning all over you, I'm sure it'd be hard to resist slipping up at least once. Whether or not he'd actually do it might be up in the air, but the toll that the what if would take on my mental health wouldn't be worth it. Again, insecurity. So I'm not going to say that guys don't cheat, because believe me, guys cheat. And I'm not going to say that a very good-looking guy who pretty much have women throwing themselves at them wouldn't cheat either. Okay, I'm not saying that either. But for her to just go into this just assuming that because he's a really good-looking guy and can attract women, he's going to cheat, that's ridiculous. Okay, because that's not always going to be the case. And again, what does it say about her? What does it say about her valuing herself? Okay, here's the thing. Like I said, guys cheat. I'm not going to deny that at all. But guess what? So do women. And honestly, as time's going on, it seems that more women do more cheating than guys. Okay? And some people will disagree with me with that, and that's fine, but that's just what I'm picking up as time is going on here. You can have some women that if they don't take care of their guy, essentially, after a while, yeah, he's going to cheat. So if you get a good-looking guy, and he's not arrogant, like she mentioned before, but he's good-looking, takes care of himself, he's definitely, women are attracted to him, he can get pretty much any woman he wants. If he's a good guy, he's not arrogant, as she mentioned before, and she treats him well, she takes care of herself physically, she doesn't think, hey, I got this guy, so I don't have to exercise anymore, I can eat pizza and french fries every night. If she takes care of herself physically, she's keeping herself thin and in shape, she's keeping herself looking sexy, dressing well. When she's with him, she treats him well, with respect, she's loyal, fun to be around, feminine, that's very important, constant sex, all that. The likelihood of him cheating is far less than if she didn't do that. So, again, this woman is just automatically going to say, hey, this guy's going to cheat. Again, what does that say about her and her past experiences here? Guys, again, for those of you who do dating and pickup and relationships, this is important to pay attention to, just to understand what goes on in the minds of some of these women, or the emotions that they have, which leads to their actions. Number 6, I'd get tired of people treating me like I won the love lottery. When you date someone who's exponentially more attractive than you are, it's just a given that people are going to treat you like that girl who's dating the really hot guy. When I love someone, I love them for who they are on the inside rather than how they look. Let's not get carried away here. If the guy looked like the Elephant Man, she wouldn't be giving him the time of day, okay? But I just know that everyone would always talk about how lucky I was to be able to date who was that attractive. I want nothing to do with that nonsense. In other words, the attention's off her, the attention's on him. And again, it's making her feel bad because she's insecure. Number 7, I need to feel pampered too. I don't need to be treated like a princess, but I do like to feel loved and appreciated. But from my experience, guys who are way above average in the looks department just don't know how to make a woman feel like that. Maybe it's just a coincidence. But I feel like a lot of these guys are so used to being fawned over that they forget that they have to put in the work too. And you know what? There may be some truth to that. There's a lot of guys that obviously can attract women so easily, they don't make the effort. Okay, fine. But that doesn't mean that every guy that's really good looking, if he meets a gal that treats him in a way that he deserves to be treated, treats him in a way that she's affectionate and loving and loyal, fun to be around, she isn't a pain in the ass, takes care of herself, I guarantee you that he's going to do some nice things for her. But I also guarantee you that he's smart enough to realize, yeah, well, I can't do too much of that, because if I do too much of that, she'll get used to it, and in some weird, twisted, psychotic way, we'll interpret that kindness and affection for weakness. Because we all know darn well, you put a woman on a pedestal, she's going to start looking down at you like you're a peasant, or looking down at you like you're the court jester. Okay? That's why some things like that would be gifts for your girlfriend or some special treatment. Do it sparingly. It is rare, okay? I'm not saying you have to go walk around being a jerk, but if you constantly give the royalty treatment to her, it's not going to end well. It's unfortunate that it has to be that way. It would be a nice world where you could have someone that you obviously really click with and are attracted to and have fun with and obviously really like, that you could treat really well. But we all know darn well, given life experience, what happens when you do that. Or let's just say too much of that. So, and let's be honest here, this girl just sounds like a royal height maintenance pain in the ass. Next one, number 8. I think flaws are sexy. All the guys I've fallen for in the past were far from perfect, and I found that super hot. When a guy is too good looking, I end up seeing him like a rare piece of art on exhibit. Great to look at, but not to touch. I can appreciate a super attractive guy, but when it comes to picking a boyfriend, I'd rather have someone who isn't completely perfect. In other words, she knows she's not perfect, so she wants to have some guy on her level to feel better about herself. And not to mention the fact that we all know darn well that a lot of women when they get together, they often will talk about guys, usually the guys in their lives, and there's always someone bitching about something, and that way the other ones can jump in and chime in about something the one guy's doing or whatever, because a lot of women like to nag, and a lot of women like to complain, and if this guy didn't have any flaws, what's there to complain about and have a challenge, so to speak. Okay, number 9. People would treat me differently. Very beautiful people attract others like gold or diamonds too. I never want to be treated like a side note, like I was only important because of my relationship with this very attractive man. It sounds a little crazy. This whole article sounded a little crazy, lady. But I've seen it happen before, and I want no part in it. Again, insecure, she wants to be in control, and she, no, I can't remember the last one, but you know what I'm getting at here. Oh, and she wants the attention on her. Number 10. Okay, I admit it, I'm a bit prejudiced. You think? I know that's not right to presume that all these things would happen just because my boyfriend was outrageously hot. But given what I've experienced before, it's hard not to come up with these assumptions. Well, that's the whole thing. Assumptions. And when they say, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. Okay? Still, though, the fact that I had these preconceived notions means that it'd be unfair of me to date someone who was super good looking. For both his sake and mine, I'd rather just stick with men who look like people rather than demigods. So there you go, guys. That's an example to show you the crazy that can go on in a lot of women's heads and how insecure women can be. I'm not saying all are like this, because believe me, there are some that are way, way worse. But all have some level of insecurity to some degree. But I'm also guessing it's a possibility here that she may have actually, in spite of what she's saying, because it sounds like she has this great amount of experience dating obviously super good looking guys, I'm thinking it's possible that maybe that's not true at all, and she wants to be she wants those guys to be attracted to her and want her, but they're not. But this is her way of convincing herself, I wouldn't want them anyway, so here are all the reasons why I wouldn't give them a chance, even though deep down she really wants them, but is fearful that they wouldn't give her the time of the day, or has proven that they wouldn't give her the time of day. You know, it's a defense mechanism. Who the hell knows? But anyhow, that's a little crazy that I wanted to share with you today, just to show you guys what it is like out there and what you can expect. And I'm sure some women watching this video right now, some may be shaking their heads, you know, reluctantly agreeing that, yeah, you know, women can be very insecure and all that, or are the ones shaking their head saying, oh, that's a bunch of crap and blah, blah, blah. Who knows? Can't make everybody happy. But anyway, guys, that'd be a funny little article to share with you today. So, all right, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know your experiences with anybody kind of like this. I'd like to hear about it. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.